Hi everyone, welcome to Mid-South Weather Musings. I'm meteorologist Gary Woodall. Thank you for joining us for this kickoff edition of Mid-South Weather Musings. We're going to use these video episodes to talk about weather across the Mid-South, Arkansas, southeast Missouri, Tennessee, Mississippi. We'll take a look at the southeastern U.S. quite a bit as well, and occasionally take a look at what's going on elsewhere across the country. We're going to use these video episodes to talk about what has happened weather-wise, what might happen in the future. Also going to talk a little bit about the science of meteorology and weather and why some of what we're seeing is taking place. And we're also going to talk about safety. This is an active and potentially dangerous weather part of the country, and want to make sure that you and your families and your friends are as prepared as you can be for the next time severe weather threatens you. So we're going to kick off with a little opening musing, then take a look at the weather situation for today, then talk a little bit about science, and then a little bit about safety to kind of wrap things up. So my introductory musing is going to be to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a professional meteorologist. I've been in the field for 32 years now. I got my bachelor's degree in meteorology from Florida State University in 1985. Got my master's in meteorology from University of Oklahoma in 1988 and entered the professional meteorology field after that. I've worked at several locations in Texas, some severe weather prone areas, several years in the Mid-South region, and about 5 years out in the southwestern U.S. So while I've had exposure to a lot of different weather regimes, my academic specialty and area of expertise, and really my passion, my calling, is severe weather, severe thunderstorms, tornadoes, and safety and preparedness activities for severe weather as well. And again, that's going to be an important theme in these video editions, talking about severe weather, talking about what's going on, talking about ways that you can learn about severe weather and keep yourself safe and your family safe and prepared for when severe weather threatens. So with that, we will go ahead and take a look at the situation that we're dealing with today. And this is the Storm Prediction Center's Severe Weather Outlook for today, Sunday, April the 19th into Sunday night. And the big thing that sticks out is this large red moderate risk area. That's a 4 out of 5 on SPC's Outlook scale. So it looks like the parameters are coming together for another potentially significant severe weather event in areas that got hit last Sunday. So certainly not what we want to see, but it does look like the ingredients are coming together for another fairly significant severe weather event Sunday afternoon and Sunday night into the early pre-dawn hours of April the 20th. So taking a look at the tornado outlook, again, from Georgia all the way across to northern Louisiana, the most favored area for tornadoes. The black hatching, the black tick marks that we see suggest the possibility of significant tornadoes. That would be EF2 or greater as far as the tornadoes are concerned. So again, folks, if you're in Louisiana across the I-20 corridor into south central Georgia, be on the lookout today. Be keeping up with the weather information that's coming out from your local weather service offices and your local TV meteorologists. The severe wind outlook for Sunday afternoon and Sunday night, April 19th into the 20th. Again, significant thunderstorm winds possible. It looks like as the weather system moves more into Alabama and Georgia, winds may become an even greater threat. The tornado threat will continue as we go into Sunday night and the very early morning hours of Monday, but perhaps the wind threat will be increasing in this area as well. So taking a look currently at what's happening on radar, well, here in the Mid-South area, just some showers taking place across West Tennessee, and we'll put this into motion here. Down over northern Mississippi, showers, maybe a few thunderstorms showing up as well over parts of north and northeast Mississippi, sort of approaching Highway 45. Also now a severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect for far western Alabama. So things starting to develop a little bit here in the Mid-South region. But if we take a look off to the southwest, things are definitely getting active. This is looking at northern Louisiana, far east Texas, several severe thunderstorms with warnings in effect in this area. So again, we're going to need to be watching this area as it develops and moves to the east and to the northeast. Again, it looks like areas along and south of the I-20 corridor from Louisiana all the way across to Georgia could be most at risk. Now, one of the key things when we're dealing with thunderstorms and thunderstorm forecasting, and one of the ingredients we'll be watching today, is how much low-level moisture comes into the area and how unstable will the atmosphere be. You'll often hear those terms when people are talking about thunderstorm forecasting, moisture and instability, and just what are we talking about there? Well, most of the moisture that we get for thunderstorms here in our part of the country comes up from the Gulf of Mexico. The southerly winds will bring that warm, moist air up into the area, and we can kind of think of that moisture as the fuel for the thunderstorms. Now, we can sometimes get upper level moisture that comes across our area from the Pacific. Now, this upper level moisture usually won't contribute much to severe thunderstorms. It can play a role, though, when we get into heavy rain periods and the potential for heavy rainfall. But again, for severe weather like we're looking at here this Sunday, again, low-level moisture coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. Now, instability is another term that often gets thrown about when we're talking about thunderstorms. And what exactly do we mean by instability in the atmosphere? Well, when we have instability, we typically will have a layer of relatively warm, moist, humid, muggy air that's down close to the ground, and a layer of relatively cold air up above it. Now, we all remember from back in school that warm air likes to rise. So if we can start this low-level warm, moist air upward, it's going to get lighter than its surroundings, less dense, and it's going to continue to rise on its own. And if we get some of this cold air, give it a little nudge downward, that air is going to become colder, heavier, denser than the surrounding air. It's going to sink on its own. And this is actually what we mean by instability. This is what gives rise to the updrafts and the downdrafts, those upward and downward air currents that can form in the thunderstorm. Generally speaking, the stronger the instability, the greater the potential for strong updrafts and downdrafts and the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms. Oftentimes on our very unstable days, we'll have very warm, moist, almost oppressive feeling air down close to the ground. So if we're expecting thunderstorms, and if you're in an area that's, again, very warm and moist and muggy and sticky feeling, well, that's one of the components that could be leading to the potential for those severe storms. That's something you're going to want to watch for if you're down in that risk area this Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. So let's talk a little bit about safety and how we can be ready for whatever happens today or other severe weather events down the line. One of the most important things is to make sure that you can get that severe weather information, because if you don't know the storm's coming, you can't act to get yourself and your family safe. So we need to have ways to get that severe weather information. A really good tool is NOAA Weather Radio. That's a 24-hour broadcast that comes from your local National Weather Service office. The special radios have alarm features that when a watch or a warning gets issued for your county, the radio will alarm. So it's kind of like a smoke detector for severe weather. Of course, a lot of us have smartphones. There are really good smartphone apps out there that will not only pick up the watches and the warnings, but will use the location feature, the GPS feature on the smartphone, and only alert that phone if it is in or very close to that warning polygon that you see. Commercial media, the TV meteorologists, the radio broadcasters are excellent at disseminating watch and warning information out to their viewers and their listeners. So again, your favorite TV meteorologist is a great source to use for severe weather information. There's a lot of information on the internet. All the National Weather Service offices post the watch and warning information. A lot of the media outlets do as well, and some of the local government websites will as well. Of course, a lot of us get our information on social media these days, and that's great. There are a lot of tools out there, a lot of channels for getting that watch and warning information. Local National Weather Service offices, again, the media outlets. Make sure that you're following reliable sources, though. There's a lot of different sources of information that are out there, so make sure that you're following reliable sources. Again, your local weather service, your local media, your local emergency management or government agencies are some of the good reliable sources to follow. And then there are sirens, which are an outdoor warning system, which are a part of the overall warning system, but should not be your only means to find out about severe weather. Again, sirens are an outdoor system, so if you're inside your house, inside your shelter, where you should be with severe weather approaching, you may not hear the sirens. But with all these other channels, again, there's a lot of different ways that we can get that severe weather information, and it's a good idea to have at least 3 different ways. Even phone calls to and from friends and neighbors and relatives can be an important way to get that information as well. So that's going to wrap up this episode of Mid-South Weather Musings. Again, across the I-20 corridor and south of there, be on the lookout for severe weather this Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. If warnings get issued for your area, act quickly. You may only have a few minutes to get to that safe location. Need to use that time wisely. So thank you for watching us today. If you like what you saw, give me a like and subscribe. We'll be doing these features periodically. Perhaps we'll do one tomorrow, sort of summarizing what happens this Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. And with another round of severe weather coming up perhaps later this week, perhaps in the Wednesday, Thursday, 22nd, 23rd time frame, we'll probably be looking at that and getting prepared for that as well. So again, thank you all for watching. Have a good and safe rest of your day.